Good morning, everybody. Word Smythe here at the I.O.U. Institute of the Unknown. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to subscribe, just hit that little button in the right corner, little round alien picture, and that'll be your subscription. So let's get started. First of all, a quick update on my Morgellons. I'll be doing a separate video on that coming soon. Probably be the 10 things that I did to treat my Morgellons, but I did find another little lump in the back of my neck here just last night, and I began poking it with a pin and getting all the material out of there, so that may have slowed down the final process, but as you can see by the two sides, it's almost gone. So enough about that for now. Let's give you an update on the Birdman. What I discovered about the Birdman. When you watch my videos of me trekking through the woods, try to pay close attention to the stuff in the peripheral on the sides, because that's where a lot of the interesting things show up. They don't show up directly in front of the camera. They show up a little bit to the sides, the left to the right, and you'll see some amazing things. In the last video I posted, the most recent, if you look behind in the background, you can see what looks like a outline of a spaceship, almost looks like a space shuttle type ship in the trees, and so you might also take notice of that. So this is what I found out about this, what I'm calling the Birdman, and interestingly enough, it's in Wikipedia under paleontology in Massachusetts. I couldn't find this information anywhere in a search involving Connecticut. Only this search in Massachusetts. And what they're talking about is in 1802, they were investigating dinosaur footprints, and they were discovered, and they called them theropod footprints, and so they made dinosaur footprints to state fossil. And just to tell you a little more about this, it says indigenous interpretations of these fossils they kept finding of these large bird-like feet, and it says it may have been part of a legend, a Tuscarora, no, I'm not pronouncing it right. Well, it's a Native American name, and it was the legend of the mosquito monster of New York. And the great mosquito, described as having a wingspan as wide as 3 men, a long beak with sharp teeth, claws as long as arrows, a body the size of a bear, and it left bird-like footprints 20 inches long. And it says here that it killed many people when it swooped down on native forts. Its large wings made a loud noise, and the sky spirit killed the great mosquito at the Salt Lake near Onondaga. Bird-like footprints resemble those left by theropod dinosaurs. However, since there are no Mesozoic strata nearby to preserve the footprints, inspiring the story may have been observed elsewhere in New England, like Massachusetts. They are quite abundant. And then it goes on to say how in Connecticut, some type of theropod was discovered when they were building a road, a main road, and they decided to just incorporate it into the bridge, so they didn't bother to preserve it. So that area that they're referring to in this Wikipedia piece is not very far from where I'm making a lot of my discoveries. So that is also more proof to the age and the validity of some of the material that I have uncovered recently. And you can check it yourself, but the interesting thing is you have to look at paleontology in Massachusetts to find out this story about Connecticut, because I don't think it's published anywhere else. So take a look at that, if you like. And so that's the update on Birdman. I just discovered that the other day, like yesterday, and I'm sharing it with you. But I also have something even more important. This is proof positive of a higher consciousness at work. Proof positive of a higher consciousness. Okay? So what I mean by that is that, well, let's start from the beginning. Effigy stones, okay? An effigy stone is basically the stone that is carved to resemble an animal so that the spirit of the animal is believed to help the tool, whatever kind of tool is being made to resemble the animal. The spirit will assist in the tool being effective. So the two things that a real effigy stone has is, one, it looks like a Native American tool, although it doesn't have to. And two is that it resembles some type of animal that would have been roaming around when it was made. Now, this isn't always the case. There are effigy stones that have no utilitarian usage and just look like, resemble whatever. And some of them, people would say, couldn't possibly resemble what they were seeing because they're so outlandish. So I'm going to show you three that are definitely tools and animals, and we'll take it from there. So we'll start with this one. This, you can see the eye, the mouth, and it's curved up like it has feet, or maybe, is it a lizard? Probably. A dog. Some type of creature. You know, what's interesting is when you hold it, it fits perfectly in your hand. Like perfectly. You see the groove on the top? It's perfect. So that's for pecking. Pecking another rock. That would be a pecking tool. Okay. Number two, we have this. Let's see if I can get you a better look here. Well, let's move the light over. There we go. Okay. Well, maybe you can't see it too good, but it resembles, okay, here we go. The mouth, the eye, back of the head. It's looks like to me like kind of like a baby deer or something, but it's hard to say. And then there's just spots here where you can see where it's kind of chipped out, where it would have been done by hand. And then the back is always very flat. It's always very flat. So this would have been a cutting tool. It has serrated knife, very sharp. And it's also an animal. And it's flat on the back, just like the other one. The third one is a little more questionable about what type of animal it is. But it definitely looks like a tool because it has this spear tip. And there's definitely animal, especially this way, although you can't really see it. Well, anyway, maybe that'll help. Okay, so the point of showing you these three items to prove a higher consciousness is that I also have another effigy stone here, and this is will offer the best proof of all. See, it looks like the effigy of a dinosaur. Okay, that's what it looks like. It looks like a dinosaur. But what's interesting is when you get close up, let's try it this way. So it looks like a dinosaur. When you get close up, it actually incorporates other little dinosaurs and creatures all through here, and this, and perhaps the right light. Oh, there we go. See how this one becomes a dinosaur? Well, this one also becomes a dinosaur, and these other ones also become things under the. Oh, here we go. Now you can see it. See how this is a dinosaur right here? And these are all. This is another creature, and it's all incorporated in here. So we have this whole thing that looks like a dinosaur, and we have these little dinosaurs in here. But the real proof is you can take any effigy stone that's a real effigy stone, I mean a tool and an animal, and you can flip it upside down and you will find other images if you look carefully. So you'll have the basic idea that it's this animal and that it's a tool, but you flip it upside down and you will find there is a whole nother picture going on, a much more complex picture. So even on a simple one like this little deer face, you flip this upside down and you look at the carving marks here and here, and you will see a more complex picture. And then you can also turn it sideways and this way. The art is incredible. It's beyond the ability of modern man, let alone the ability of some caveman. And secondly, who's making effigy stones of dinosaurs that are incorporating dinosaurs in his mouth? How is that possible? Who's doing that? Okay, who was alive at the time of the dinosaurs to record this? So you could take this, and this will work with any effigy stone you find that is both a tool and an animal. Like this one is such a perfect tool, it fits in your hand perfectly. You'll always be able to tell by the balance of the item too. And you can do that test. Turn it upside down, turn it sideways, and look closely at the carving, and you will find a whole nother image starts to appear. This is solid proof positive of a higher consciousness at work. It's rock solid proof. Okay? So there you go. So don't forget to subscribe. Check it out yourself. Wordsmith signing out.